This video is about to get very surgical.
Everybody a thug till them lights pull up, and everybody got a gun until ICE pull up. A middle finger to the president, cause I ain't too impressed. How the fuck you kicking niggas out? Ain't you niggas guess? So it's death to an ICE truck driver. You shouldn't be.
Hear me out, y'all. Okay? Tinfoil hat on. Alright? I'm not an industry guy. I don't have industry connections or nothing like that. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is just me as an outsider, right? Putting pieces together and seeing if I can see something, right? That's pretty much it. I'm just like the rest of y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Having a good time, enjoying breaking some of this stuff down and seeing if I can predict some of the stuff that's going to happen here. Just having fun like you would have with any of your other friends. You feel what I'm saying? But check this out. I've already been feeling the sentiment around. I feel like TDE and PG Lang are looking to box out the industry, right? And I'm not saying literally every single artist out there or woman out of, but I'm saying PG Lang, TDE, and whoever is aligned with PG Lang and TDE in this moment, it looks like they're looking to box out the rest of the industry. And the main reason I'm putting this on PG Lang and TDE is because they have every single thing that you would need to make this possible. Because think about it. We just got done seeing Drake and company basically, you know, we find out that all of these guys are paying, you're using the same plugs for bots. They're buying number ones. They're doing all this different stuff, right? So my whole thing is this. Since the battle, since 2024, right? The sentiment around TDE, think about it. Watch the Party Die, Meet the Grams, even Punch with his freestyles. You feel what I'm saying? His freestyle at Michael Eric Dyson. The same sentiments have been put out there, right? Same things that I've been talking about on the channel as well. That there's almost a cleanse that's being happened within the industry, right? That's happening within the industry. And PG Lang and TDE are really the front runners or the people on the front lines making this happen. You feel what I'm saying? And if you don't see that, you need to put some glasses on or something, because that's been clear as day. Now, there is a video that I'm going to make on this specifically, how I think they're going to do it as far as like the generational takeover is concerned. And I'll drop that this week. But now I'm starting to see that these things are coming to fruition, bro. We hearing Doechie's coming out at some point. Isaiah Rashad is confirmed for May 1st. Baby Keem dropped in February. You never know when Kendrick is going to drop. J-Rock has been talking about releasing. Ab-Soul been releasing every Sunday. Freestyles every Sunday. AZ Chike got an album that's supposed to be finished that we don't know when it's supposed to be coming out. This is going to be a crazy summer. This is going to be a crazy summer. That might be it somewhere. I might do the title on that, like something like that. This is going to be an insane summer. And I'm wondering if it's going to be a PG Lang TDE type of summer. Okay, now, let's get into why I'm feeling this, right? And first of all, let's just play this real quick before we even continue. This shit's so crazy. I'm working, it's great, it's late, but still today. You gotta get off your ass and live. The bass is something like a crash. Hands up. Man, this live is gonna be so crazy. I'm telling you, this album's gonna be fucking crazy. Oh my God, this album's gonna be crazy, bro. This album is going to be crazy. But anyway, so you got Isaiah Rashad starting his rollout, right? With It's Been Awful. I think I'm anticipating this to be like one of his best projects, right? Rollout has been incredible. Music video just dropped into Coachella. You feel what I'm saying? Same shit as the lead single. The song just gets better every time I listen to it. And this is, you know, you still got Doechii in the chamber. You still got, you know what I'm saying, J-Rock in the chamber. Who knows what Schoolboy is working on? Who knows what Ab-Soul is working on? You still got all these guys in the chamber, okay? While pushing the sentiments that there needs to be. Because think about it. Kendrick Lamar essentially kicked down. We make the comparison to Cyrus the Great, right? And we're not saying that Kendrick Lamar is literally a deity prophet. Like, nobody's saying that. But in comparisons, if we take the parallels of what Cyrus the Great and company did, and we look at the industry and kind of place it in that same what would you call it? That same pocket, right? Kendrick Lamar essentially kicked the doors down, something that they've been talking about doing for years, right? Kicked the doors down, knocked the heads off of the kings, knocked the heads off of the emperor, whoever, whatever you want to say. And now it's almost like the after effect, the floods of the influence of Kendrick Lamar, PG Lang, and TDE is reshaping the industry. And because it's reshaping the industry, it's reshaping the independent, the way people are choosing to do the things that they're doing outside of the industry as well. The difference between TDE and PG Lang and versus a lot of the opposition out there is that they're just musically superior. You feel what I'm saying? So all this music coming out in a similar time is essentially, right, using the pen, using the sword, the musicality as a weapon, okay? So we got Isaiah Rashad coming out May 1st. And that takes me into this, right? PG Lang is in business too, getting busy. You've seen everything going on with the festival, the commercials coming out and all that. We're going to make some videos on that too. Baby Keem decides to tweet this 2 days before the tour. Not about to keep pretending like I'm not the best nigga. Now I am gonna, there's another video I'm gonna be making about, I'm not gonna break it down too much, but about, you know, clearly there's some, I would say invisible competition going on between Baby Keem and some of the other guys who were supposed to be seen as the new front runners for the industry. It seems like there's a battle for the next generation going on if you've been paying attention, and we'll get to that soon, okay? But boom, I think this is specifically for those in question, okay? But then you go down to this. Hold on. Not going nowhere. Don't worry. I'm mad now. Right? And this is after a certain somebody, if you know who I'm talking about, dropped their album. And they did an interview talking about, yeah, you know, I don't got to make these claims of being the best of the generation and all this different stuff. And yes, we're going to talk about it soon because maybe a lot of y'all don't know who I'm talking about, okay? Here's a hint. I'm not talking about J. Cole and I'm not talking about Drake. But clearly, I feel like this is a shot at them and at that person specifically, okay? Now, another thing is he decided to put this out. Right? On the Instagram. Check this out.
Lose tomorrow, lose my life tonight. All I need is me, myself, my knife, and I, my knife, and I, my knife, and I. Me, myself, my knife, and I, my knife, and I, my knife, and I. Me, myself, my knife, and I.
First of all, that shit is crazy. But two things, right? Let's go with the obvious answer for here, right? That's not really necessarily theory-based. Baby Keem also posted that he was saying, okay, I'm going to need y'all to memorize this part of the song, right? I need y'all to scream this, right? And that could be simply him creating a chant for the audience to say across this entire tour, which would create some of the hardest clips you've seen. And expect a lot of bullshit to be coming out and messy stuff to be coming out during this tour. I already see it coming. They've been running the same playbook every single time. Expect something, okay? But Baby Keem could just be setting up a chant for the audience to gear them up for the drop of Circus Circus Freestyle, which would turn up the clips on a whole another level and make the in-person experience that much crazier. Okay? Now, here's the tinfoil aspect, right? This could be a remix with Kendrick Lamar on it. The reason why I say that, it could be a remix for anybody, but the reason why I say it could be a Kendrick Lamar remix is because I ain't gonna lie, the first time I heard Circus Circus, it was one of the songs where I'm like, why wasn't Kendrick on this song? Out of every song, it seemed like Kendrick should have been on this one the most. That's just my opinion, right? Even when you talk about like a Casino, right? Casino, Euphoria match up perfectly. But yeah, Circus Circus Freestyle, even some of the enunciations or some of the or the approach on the delivery of some of the verse and all this different stuff, Kendrick would have fit on Circus Circus perfectly. So imagine if Kendrick ended up being on the remix of Circus Circus. I ain't gonna lie, that would be crazy, but I think we're reaching with that one. Regardless, I think the other end of this could be that it's a remix. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that potentially leads us into what we would call a deluxe. Something that we've been talking about for a while. Since the beginning of this year, we've been saying there's no way that Baby Keem don't got more. There's no way that Baby Keem don't got more, right? There's no possible way that Baby Keem don't got more music. So when I look at it from that perspective, I'm like, if Baby Keem has a deluxe on the way, right? Let's say that is a fact. I think it would make sense considering the album dropped in February. A deluxe dropping during the tour would turn up the album again with connection of the tour. Like, we talking about some of these songs are going to jump crazy. They're going to jump crazy on the charts, right? Videos coming out, all different types of stuff. This leads a perfect 2-week gap into Isaiah Rashad's next album. If the tour starts, what is it? Today is the, let's see. Today's the 14th. So the tour would start tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, right? If songs are still dropping on Thursdays, I heard Chica, when I was on stream with Chica said that the industry is starting to move towards Wednesday releases. So it would make sense to drop a deluxe the day of the first day of the tour. You feel what I'm saying? And this gives you a perfect 2 weeks in between this release and Isaiah Rashad's release. They would quite literally be dominating the conversation for the next 2 weeks. What else is going to stop that? Right? What, Drake is supposed to drop Iceman in between that? Hell no. I don't think Drake has that type of confidence in his material, in his music. I don't think Drake has that type of confidence. This also puts Drake in a messed up position because what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to drop right now before Isaiah Rashad goes off? Right? Are you supposed to drop right now? Especially with the potential of Baby Keem dropping right next to that? I don't think so. This would delay Iceman again. You can't drop right after Isaiah Rashad. I think most people say yes, like Iceman would boom, 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 or whatever. I disagree, especially if we thinking about what would be the features on an Isaiah Rashad album. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not as high on the release as other people are for Drake. I'm just not. So from that perspective, they could be boxing out the industry, boxing out these next few releases. I know Kanye West been talking about a deluxe as well. I just feel like if you're paying attention, there's clearly a musical battle going on here where there's a battle for, I think, the current attention of the climate of the music world. And the next generation. So from that perspective, it's like, it makes sense that maybe the industry is recognizing that this box out is coming from TDE and PG Lang, and is looking to get the biggest people they can to start releasing music to combat this. I think it's another reason why Nicki Minaj was sitting there boasting about an album coming out in March. Nothing comes out in March. So from that perspective, I'm like, imagine if another album gets announced right after Isaiah Rashad. We talking about in June or July, right? Doechii album for the summer. We talking about AZ Chike album. We talking about a lot of different possibilities for the West to continue to keep dominating, and for TDE and PG Lang to be doing what they're doing. Not to mention any Kendrick release that could be coming out. Bodies is still hanging over the top, which I still got a feeling is a Kendrick and Baby Keem song. We'll talk about that another time. I really do feel like that. Now, that's not the only thing we came here to talk about either. I've been waiting for Baby Keem to work with Pink Panthers. You feel what I'm saying? And it looks like we finally getting it. And do y'all understand the damage that this song would do if it's about to drop anytime soon?
I wanna be with you. I need your hand next to me. I met you in London. I think you're my destiny. I don't wanna fight you.
Pete is crazy.
Why do you keep testing me? I'm living in London. I'm wishing the best for me.
I'm in your country, what you want? You replace me, then I'm gone. I got women everywhere. I be out here acting
You
numb.
got my feelings everywhere.
We go piece it up.
That's about to be a banger. Oh my goodness. But look, why would you even preview this right now? Why? Why would you even preview this right now if it's not a deluxe or another project coming? For what? What's the purpose? Just curious. Right? So I genuinely believe that this is what's going on here. I think that TDE and PG Lang are in unison about to box out the industry. And you can't really stop them, because not only do they have, and we're going to make a video on this, not only do they have the artists for, you know, the previous generation still active, still relevant, and still ready to get busy, right? With the Schoolboy Q's, the Kendricks, etc. But you also got the next generation in line, right? And that's not to say, you know, others don't have the next generation in line, but they're just simply not as talented as a Baby Keem or as a Doechii. You're talking about two counterparts for Generation Z. You're talking about the male counterpart and the female counterpart for Generation Z, bro. Both are at the top of their game right now. And then you go back, Kendrick can drop at any time with no announcement, and nobody is stopping that. Nobody's outselling that. Nobody's out, none of that. Right? So when you look at it from that perspective, I think that's what's going on, bro. I think PG Lang and TDE are boxing out the industry. And these releases that we're about to see for the next run are going to be the thing that completely closes the door shut into the next walk of the music industry and what music means to society in general. Which is why I think, you know, even when Punch in the Michael Eric Dyson thing, when he talks about in the days of those kings, you feel what I'm saying, and what that relates to and what that is supposed to represent. It represents a new kingdom being built that cannot be destroyed, sent by God, right? And I think that representation, especially when you're talking about putting things that really matter in the music, we talking about a dude like Baby Keem making songs like No Blame, Boom Boom, and making people feel again. Because that's what this last run of music was through the 2020s and all that. At the top of the charts, the Drake, the Young Thug, all these guys, that was numbing music. That was music meant to numb you, right? To pacify you. This music is to, electrify and to get you to feel. So I think that they're washing the old ways of the industry out and bringing in the new ways of the industry in. Okay, and I think this is going to be a musical battle. It's a musical civil war going on. Who is going to, like Kanye and 50 Cent, but I think with more music and more people participating. What music is going to stand the test of time in this situation? What music is going to dominate in this situation? What music is going to last? What music is going to create the most genuine conversation? What music is, etc. And I think that's what's going on here. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking good for anybody that's not aligned musically with TDE, PG Lang, the Pusha T's, the J, all this different stuff. It's not looking good if your music isn't looking good. You feel what I'm saying? Because yeah, I think the industry is going a completely different direction, and TDE and PG Lang are pushing that envelope. So this is what I think is going on. Just my little tinfoil hat theory. You feel what I'm saying? I think that's exactly what's happening here. And I want y'all to let me know what you think. Shout out to everybody that's been subscribing to the Patreon. It's only $5, y'all. It's only $5, and we currently running down the Jay-Z's albums and his catalog. I'm getting accustomed to Jay-Z's catalog as a Gen Z individual who, you know, I grew up on the West Coast. I never really listen. My family didn't listen to Jay-Z and all that, so you know, I never really connected with Jay-Z or his music like that. But I've been learning why people talk about Jay-Z the way they talk about him. Currently, we just finished the Lifetime in my Lifetime Volume 1, so we're moving on to the next one. And definitely go check out the Patreon for that. $5. That's it. You feel what I'm saying? Also, shout out to everybody that's been playing my new music, F Ice. I got way more coming than y'all understand. You feel what I'm saying? I got a lot more coming for y'all. We still active. We still getting busy. Thank y'all for 10K on the music video. We about to hit about I think 2,000 streams on Spotify, all this different stuff. I appreciate y'all for all the love. We got some downloads on Bandcamp. Appreciate all the support and love. I'll be putting all these links in the description. Also, for all my sports heads out there, my homie got a podcast, sports podcast that we will be running during the playoffs for the NBA, into the NFL season, etc. We're going to be streaming that on my Twitch. So also go check out my Twitch, subscribe to my Twitch for all my sports fans out there, because we're going to be talking sports Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Okay, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesday streams. So yeah, man, it's getting active. You feel what I'm saying? More music coming, battles coming, everything. I'm trying to maximize all of my gifts, maximize everything that I could do, and just, you know, be able to, you know, regardless of what it looks like, the success, whatever, just make sure that I leave an attempt to maximize all of my abilities. And you know, when I pass away, when I'm laying on my deathbed, just be like, yeah, I really tried everything. I really tried to, you know what I'm saying? I use my musical talents, my battle talents, my content creation talents, everything. You feel what I'm saying? So, appreciate y'all, man. Like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're new here, especially if you've been here. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to catch y'all.